guys, welcome back to the channel. Dave here, JDH Reptiles. We have a clutch to pull today. However, I need to build an egg box. And I get asked this question pretty often on what we do for our egg boxes. So everybody's incubator and their egg box setup could be different, but this is how we do it. Now, our incubator is a double door soda cooler. We don't use the incubator for building humidity. The incubator is just the box that holds the egg boxes, and the egg boxes need to have their own humid environment. So the incubator is just for the heating of the box. Now, we've previously done a cooler incubator where the cooler was full of water and the egg boxes were suspended. In that situation, the incubator not only created the heat but also the humidity, so you need to make sure that the humidity could get into the box. In this setup, we don't use that. We use the boxes creating its own environment. So I'm going to show you how we make our box and why we do it this way. Things you're going to need an egg box. This is just some generic Tupperware box that we got off, I think I bought them off Amazon. I don't know what quart they are. All I can tell you is the tops on these suck. But it doesn't matter because we use press and seal over the top of them. So the lid really is just to hold in, hold the top on and hold in the heat and whatnot, because everything is sealed underneath the press and seal. So from there, you need something to put your eggs on. We use light diffuser. You can use easy hatch trays or whatever you prefer. This is just to keep the eggs off the wet perlite. Speaking of perlite, you need some of that. So I have a bag here of perlite. We use about 3 or 4 of these 16-ounce deli cups. Typically about 3, sometimes 4. Really just depends how it looks to me. Then you're going to need water. So I have a jug of water. And then your box can be set up. Once you're ready to pull your eggs and put them in the box, you need press and seal. Don't cheap out, buy press and seal. This is the best. This sticks the best. And then I also use some plastic golf tees. You don't want to use wood or bamboo because they're porous and they can mold. So I use plastic, and that's just for some of the eggs because I like to separate the eggs. I don't want them to accidentally roll if the box gets moved, so I'll pin them on the edges of the eggs. And then if you've looked at any of my egg pulling videos, you'll see how we do that. But we're going to go ahead, I'm going to lower the camera, and I'm going to show you how to put together this egg box. Alright, so I'll move the perlite out of the way. There's some room here. Here is my egg box. My egg boxes sit in my incubator, so they're warm. It doesn't matter, you can do this in a cold box. I just keep them in the incubator. So I'm going to start off with 3 scoops of perlite. I don't wash my perlite first. I don't rinse it. I just pour it right in. So I need a minimum of 3, that I know for sure. Like I said, sometimes I use a 4th one. This stuff is pretty nasty, so I don't recommend breathing this. You should either, do this outside or wear a mask or something, because it does have a lot of dust particles and they irritate your throat. So I'm gonna look at how that looks. Alright, so now I just put my diffuser in there. See how that looks. I want it to be kind of level. And I could use 1 more cup. What I'm really looking for is the height here between the light diffuser and the top. Again, I'll have press and seal over the top, so there needs to be a little bit of a gap because I don't want the eggs to hit the press and seal. But with that being said, I also want to make sure there's enough media in the bottom. So I'm going to add 1 more scoop of perlite. And like I said, typically I use 4 scoops. 3.5, somewhere around there. So there we go. And it doesn't seem like much, but it actually does add quite a bit more. So from there, I'm going to grab my water, and I'm just going to pour the water over the perlite. And yeah, I use quite a bit of water. I'm not concerned about a certain mix because my eggs are not going into the perlite, but I do like to have a little bit of steaming water inside the perlite. I don't mean the water just should not be like standing on the top of the perlite. You don't want that. So when I pull it back, I like to see a little bit of water sitting in the bottom of my perlite. So mix it up really good. Okay, I'll lay it out. And if I come back like this, there is some standing water in here. So that's good. That's what I want. And that's because that water is what's going to create the humidity in this box. So then I just lay it out. Add my light diffuser. And this box is ready to go. So that's it, guys. Pretty simple process. Like I said, from here I have a clutch to pull, so I'll get my eggs in there, and then I'll use my golf tees to make the eggs stable, and then I'll put the press and seal over the top, and it will go in the incubator just like this. I won't touch it anymore. Typically I used to check my eggs a couple times during the season or during the incubation process, but now I've gotten to the point where I don't check them really anymore. I just look through the door and I look and see if I see any molded eggs. Other than that, they really just do the job. They get done usually day 50 is when I start checking them, and prepare to cut around day 55. So that is the egg box building procedure that we use here. Again, you may have to tweak things yourself, and depending on what kind of incubator you're using, may depend whether or not you have to put any holes in your tubs, whether or not you use the press and seal, etc. But with our method, this is what we do. We want the box to be its own environment. So the heat is external due to the incubator. The humidity is going to come from the tub itself. So it needs to be a completely sealed tub with the water inside of it to help keep the eggs humid. So if you guys have any questions at any time, please feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. All those links are down below. The usart.org, that link is down below as well as our Patreon and everything else. You guys take care. Thanks for swinging by. We appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you on the next video.